Hey, welcome to Boss Battles Top 5. My name is Paul Zajac.
And I'm Ole Stene.
Thanks for joining us. In Boss Battles Top 5s, we are going to be taking a look at other people's content and other great battles and counting down within those things 5 great moves that hopefully you can take home and use in your own campaigns in series. And we're going to be trying to do this in under 10 minutes so we don't waste a lot of your time.
So today we are looking at the final battle in Shadows of Archonia, Season 1. So a big thank you to Steve, the DM of the series, for hooking up us with the timestamps, character stats, and clarifications. So the battle we are going to be discussing is at 20th level, 4 characters against 1 boss. And that boss is, well, we're not going to tell you. You have to watch for yourself. The episode is linked down below.
So even though we're not going to be discussing the big bad, there are going to be spoilers, right? We're telling you some of the moves that they use. So this is your warning. If you don't want to know and you want to watch the episode first, stop here, go watch it, and come back and see us. And okay, so that's it. With now, with the help of our resident barbarian Stan, who's going to help us count down the moves, we'll take it away. All right, the first one, you've seen it before, Healing Word. But this time it's cast by a 20th level character, upcast with a 9th level spell slot for a total healing of 31 points. The context is that the character has their initial action nullified by the big bad, and so they have looking around for a bonus action. It's not so much that you'd necessarily want to use a 9th level spell slot for Healing Word. Maybe you would. But it said high level characters are still able to get something out of this spell. It's a bonus action, one of the only bonus action healings in D&D. That's it.
So at number 4, we have an attack opportunity that turns into a critical, and the paladin decides to use a level 1 smite. So this campaign, they use the powerful critical rule, also known as the Perkins Critical, where when you roll a critical hit, your base damage is maximized, and then you roll the additional dice on top of that. And this totals out for 92 damage on the boss
Yeah.
as a freebie for the paladin. That's a
Yeah,
good
that's
feeling for the
huge.
player.
I really do like that, a modified critical roll. And I think it's interesting that it's called the Perkins rule. I didn't know that. That's a great piece of insight. Number 3 is a spell that I hadn't seen before, Resilient Sphere. It's a 4th level wizard spell mostly, and essentially creates a bubble around the caster, or you can choose to cast it around somebody else, a creature or an object that is larger, smaller. And essentially, you seal the thing in. Nothing gets in, nothing gets out except for air. No spells, no damage, no nothing. You can stomp on it, you can throw it. It's not going to break. And kind of just on paper, the utility of this seems perhaps limited. Maybe it's just like a banishment with a different type of saving throw. But it really is, you see from this battle that it is really like a niche spell, and it's the perfect niche this guy chooses, which becomes more obvious when we discuss number 1. But I think it highlights that there are some spells in D&D that when you first reach a level that you could get the spell, it's not worth using that spell slot. But later on in the game, it makes sense. If you can find those gems and use those at the right time, it's pretty awesome. Okay,
I think this is an excellent spell. It's very flexible. You can do a lot of stuff with it.
yeah.
It's a spell you shouldn't sleep on. In number 2, we have the monk player using a feature of his homebrewed subclass, the Way of the Thunder Monk. And in this case, it lets him do a Hail Mary move where he can turn as much of his key points, in this case 13 that he has remaining, to do 2d6 per key point damage, thunder damage, to everything in a very big area. To add to these 26 die 6 of thunder damage. He is a Tempest Domain cleric, so he can maximize that damage. Letting him do 156 damage to everything, but including himself, which would probably kill him at this point. However, he has an absorbing tattoo that lets him once per day not only be immune to thunder damage, but also to regain half of that as healing.
Right. Yeah. So, and when we talked to Steve about it, like he had intended this homebrew thing as a last ditch, like, you know, flare out and die. But the guy found a workaround by using this absorbing tattoo, and not only did he survive, but he like he like benefited from it, which was that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, very awesome.
Okay, so we're at number one. So the number one move, not surprisingly, at 20th level is casting of a wish spell. I wonder if all the episodes are going to end with us highlighting wish spell. So
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. So cast wish, and his wish is to use the spell Simulacrum to clone the big bad. The caveat here is that the big bad in this scenario is not a humanoid or a beast, which is one of the stipulations for a simulacrum. But there is in the written text of Wish kind of some guidance about wishes that are not that are outside the kind of stated above regulations, and so the DM Steve allows the simulacrum to proceed, even though it's not a beast, which I think was like a completely reasonable ruling. It seemed like a minor modification.
I agree with this ruling. You let the player do what he wants, even though it kind of breaks the rules, but it comes with a cost because it gets all the downsides of casting a powerful wish.
Right. So that the wizard, it gets kind of nerfed, will suffer damage from future effects, has reduced spellcasting abilities, and that's why the that resilient sphere came in so well, because the next turn after casting wish, the guy cast resilient sphere to protect himself, and then he also had this cloned big bad that he was fighting the big bad with, and he was safe inside his sphere, eating popcorn and just watching the show go on, which that was got to be really satisfying. As close to as satisfying as being there. So that was it. That was a great move, and that's our number one. Okay, I think we still had some time to spare. We did it. Okay.
All right.
Thanks everybody for watching. All right. Take care. Bye.